In the last video, I made a cinematic environment for my game, and it turned out to be pretty good. So in this video, we'll make the core mechanics of the game, and finally reveal the title of the game at the end of the video. So I added some interesting elements to the game, like a map, so the player can see over the entire environment. I also added a compass, as it gives an extra challenge to the player to figure out where he needs to go based on simple directions. Since there will be nighttime in the game, I also give the player a flashlight. Now this game is visually aesthetic, so I wanted the player to be able to capture photos like he normally would in real life. So I added a camera with which you can take pictures when you find a scene or a visual that you like. But you know what would be even better? If the player could actually print these photos, share them or send them to somebody. So I used the directory class which the system.io namespace provides to store these photos on the computer. Now when you take a photo in the game, it will automatically fall into a folder on your system. Now it's time to animate these new elements. The problem with animating UI elements, as I learned from this video by Game Dev Guide, is that it runs every single frame, even if the animation isn't playing. Why? I don't know. Maybe Sebastian Lake can make a 20-minute video explaining why, which my brain won't be able to understand. Anyways, the solution to this is tweening. Tweening is basically changing a game object state from one to another over some time. It works programmatically and we can control it on any element however we want. There are no blend trees, animation triggers, bleh. A few months back, I had made my own UI tweening library called UI Animator. You can download this for yourself on GitHub, by the way, the link is in the description. So I just used that and it worked flawlessly. I then added an inventory system so the player can pick up items. I modified the mission system to work with the inventory for checking how many items have been collected. I also made a type of a mission where you have to take a photo of a said location. Then I set up a save system which uses binary files for storing saved data. While doing this, I realized that the map just kind of cuts off at the end. And that's not usually how terrain works, unless the earth is actually flat. So to make the environment look seamless, I added some extended terrain on all the sides. And to prevent the player from going off limits, I also added some chain fences. These fit nicely as real camping grounds also have bounds like these. Now there needs to be a waterfall in the environment. As I once said, if you don't have waterfalls in your environment, what are you doing with your life? I had already planned this, so I placed a waterfall on this part of the terrain and made a river flow down that path all the way into a lake. I wrote a custom shader which scrolls the texture along the mesh of a waterfall. This gives the effect of water flowing down some terrain. I started adding some details to the environment, like adding small wooden fences and rocks. I also started painting some long grass. Small details like these are really important for making your game feel more realistic. I also wrote a simple shader to create the clouds in the game. I then added a tent and a campfire, which would be the camp. And now, it's finally time to reveal the title of the game. Here it is. The name 7 Days derives from the storyline. In the story, you play as a character who has come to this place for camping and exploring for 7 days. What he does within those 7 days is the crux of the game. I plan on releasing this game on Steam, so if you want to get notified when the game is out, subscribe to the channel or follow me on Twitter. The next devlog will probably be the last one, as I'm extremely close to finishing the game. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. You'll get notified about the next one. See ya!